What's up, Yappers? Welcome to another episode of Yapping Hours on your browser screen. Today, we're going to talk about something we had a little discussion off camera. Is it okay for white characters to have a black skin tone? And is it okay for black characters to also have a white skin tone? Based on what you see in the caption, you kind of probably understand what this what this conversation is going to lead up to. But basically, earlier we had a conversation of, is it okay, like for me, this is the most prevalent in fighting games. In fighting games, when there's like a white character, typically there's an alternate color of them having melanin, right? But you don't see that a lot when it comes to a black character. Like the ones I could think of off the top of my head is like Zoe and Grand Blue. In Pokemon, there's a whole discourse with like, what if Nessa was white? You know, like the water.
Oh, you're referring to like alternate colors in fighting games. So like, I think
alternate colors in fighting games, but is it okay for a black? Essentially, the main thing that we talked about was like, is it okay for a black character to have a white alternate color? Right? Because you know how people, they'll be like, it's okay if like this character who's white can have a black alternate color, but for the black character you can't really do that for the white one. I say you can't, but not for the reasons you're thinking.
Before you even say that, I want to let the audience know, I don't even know what the hell's going on. Both of these guys were having this conversation. I'm just now jumping into it. So, Rainbow, what's your side on this?
I say it's not okay, but not for the reason you think. So, when you make a character, right? We'll put it in the realm of fighting games. People could think of it with like Nessa and other characters that aren't fighting games, but let's put it in perspective of fighting games, right? When you make a character and you make a white character, typically you'll make certain features, right? Like, let's say for like a white character, you're not going to have them have super huge lips. I know it's kind of like a horrible example, but you get my point. Like, you're not going to get super huge lips because that would look weird, unless that's what you're going for, right? If you're going for a typical what a normal human being looks like in a fighting game, you're not going to do that. With a black character, you might, maybe, I don't know, unless you're weird. But when you make the alternate color, you're essentially just making their skin darker, right? And you might have like a color like green. It's usually either green or purple, weirdly enough. But you'll make it green, let's just say, right? Now imagine you make a black character where typically the character has black features. Curly hair, darker skin, bigger ears, let's just say, right? But you wouldn't have those features typically for a white character. So when you make an alternate color of them having white skin, it looks fucking weird. Because that's not what it just looks weird on that character. That's why I say
you're saying that darker skin tones look weird or off, putting it on like a white character. Is that what you're essentially saying?
Like if you make a white alternate for a black character, it looks weird. But if you do from white to black, it's whatever, because it's like it's typical. So I say you shouldn't, because it's just so fucking strange to have it that way. And then why would you do that when you have a character that's like different, like Zoe in fucking Grand Blue? Like that white alternate skin, white alt costume she has is fucking hideous. Cause like it's Zoe, but she's white, and like they made Zoe in a particular way.
Now I wish you would have had an image of that and what you have up here so we can see like the comparison, see the two. But okay,
I could show it. I just use this image just because it's
While you're pulling it up, Krem, what's your side on this?
Honestly believe like everybody talks about equality, and when I say I'm a believer in equality, I mean I'm a believer in equality. For every sides, every aspects, everything is the same. If you guys wish to be equal, then you guys wish to be equal. So why do I bring this up? if you're gonna be a white character turned into a brown character and everybody celebrates this, and most people on Twitter would be like, "Oh, this is magnificent fan art. This is really amazing. I like it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, yes, you know, you slay, Black Queen." But when you switch it the other way around, a black person into a white character, why is it a problem? Like I said, I'm a believer in equality. It's equal on all both sides. If you turn a black character white, it should be fine. And Rainbow brought up the Zooey character from Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, and the white skin of this black character Zooey doesn't bother me at all. And I know this sounds insane because I'm not black, everybody can tell, but you're turning a black character white. It's the same thing as turning a white character black, and I've seen this several times, whether it's Super Smash Brothers, whether it's Street Fighter, you're turning a white character black, everybody celebrates this. It's my favorite skin, it's the greatest thing of all time. But it in reality, it's like, it's just switching colors. Like, I don't see the problem. Like, you're turning one character black to white, you're turning one character white to black. It's such a stupid fucking argument. And then and one thing that really pisses me off is when people do fan art. Now, art is an expression of freedom. And for those of you who don't know, as a viewer, I myself am an artist. I like to draw on my spare time. And because of that, I do believe, whatever you want to draw, that's your expression. That's your form of freedom of speech. So I can't argue with that. But I just hate the fact that everybody's entitled to that. So if you're turning a person from white to black, it's perfectly fine. But if you're turning a character black to white, it's not. Now you're just breaking the rules to your own favoritism, to your own. It's so fucking stupid.
I get what you're saying.
It's ridiculous. And most people will tell you that it's blatant racism. It's not. And I've seen all the arguments. I'm chronically online, X, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you want to call it, or whatever it is that you guys are on. I've seen it all around. Most people will counter argue it's because black people don't have enough representation, which I do understand. But at the same time, like, in the end, this artist is expressing themselves through the form of art of turning themselves from a black character to a white character. And you guys want to talk about equality, perfectly fine. You know, you want to turn some of my favorite characters, let's say like Daisy, a white character, turning into black. I don't care. But if you're turning a black character to white, it doesn't matter. And it's because it's all a freedom of one expression, one of art, and me being an artist. You know, who fucking cares? You're black to white, white to black. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And yes, I do understand, Rainbow. Before you start talking, yes, I understand black people aren't represented a lot, and you guys want more representation.
I'm glad you said it because I wasn't going to. But I'm glad you said it. I appreciate you.
Yeah, Rainbow wasn't even arguing that. He's arguing something different here.
Before we continue, so this is Zoe. And this is the alt I'm talking about.
I put it together. I put it together while you were doing it.
Does that not look weird though?
So to me, no, it doesn't. Like I don't know. I feel like if I booted up this game, and if I like this color, I would just choose the color.
To answer your question, Rainbow, I don't think it looks weird whatsoever. However,
yeah,
I believe that if you chose the white one with the purpose of like, oh, black character, I don't like that. Oh, now this is just right type deal. And like, obviously there's a problem there, but I doubt anybody would ever like say that aloud. You know, nobody would ever verbalize that aloud.
This is the same man that doesn't go on Twitter, so he's saying.
Oh, so this is something that happens. This is something that.
This is shit that happens, bro. Like.
Okay, yeah, then that's bad. Then that's bad. Like, obviously, the person who made this character made the character black for a reason, or whatever, the lore, the story, whatever the case may be. So if you're doing it because you're a racist, you know, obviously that's bad. But like, it is what it is. Like, what are we supposed to do about it? Who gives a shit? It's. I
always found it weird. Like I said, you can do it. I'm not saying you can't do it, because who am I? I'm not an artist. What do I fucking know? I'm saying it looks weird because, like, anytime you play a character, right? Like, if you play Dalton right fucking now,
yeah,
right, and you picked an alt skin where he's lighter, in your brain you're thinking this is what Dalsum looks like, but like he looks weird because he's light skinned. But me, how I know Dalsum, he's dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? Like looks weird for that reason.
I get
But
you.
then
Let me jump in here.
That's just a form of bias. Like you said, it's because you know he's a darker skinned character. That's why it's weird to you. But you got to be open about it. Like, let's say you didn't know about that. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter at all.
Let me jump in here. I think we need to also separate two different categories here: gaming and like media, like
Racism.
no, gaming and just regular media, like movies, TV shows, anime, whatnot. You know what I mean? Because they're kind of different. When it comes to gaming, people can portray these characters in any way, shape, or form that they fucking want. Like, they're fucking virtual video game characters. Who gives a shit? And when people want to do cosplays for these characters, obviously that brings up a whole different layer of something entirely.
Oh man, that's
cosplay, which I'm probably going to bring up here in a second. But like, even for TV shows, well, actually, you know what? I'm kind of wrong here. TV shows and video games, they're both the same, right? What's different is when you go into the cosplay category, which is pretty much what I wanted to bring up here. Once you go into that cosplay section, that's where things get a little tricky, because people are fans of these characters, whether they're white, black, Asian, whatever the case may be. And when someone's a fan of these characters, they're going to want to cosplay them. So what you're saying, Rainbow, is pretty dumb, because you can have somebody who's white or Asian and is a really big fan of a black character and wants to cosplay as them. You're essentially telling them that you can't, because it's gonna look like you're
no. Hold on, wait.
Your tone doesn't really match it.
That's actually wrong.
Wait. You know what? Rainbow, go first, and I'll explain what.
Were you saying it in reverse? Were you saying it the other way? Like it's weird when a black character. So like when a black person wants to cosplay as like a white person.
I'm just talking about in the game. Cosplaying, like you were just saying, cosplaying is a different beast, right? When it comes to cosplaying, for people who are cosplaying, like, let's say we don't even know these characters. Let's say we don't know Zoe. We're just gonna use Zoe. I'm sorry, Zoe, but we're gonna use you as like the vehicle of this whole thing. Let's say you don't know Zoe. You don't play fighting games. Ew, fighting games. $60 to block. Ew, right?
Come on.
You're so stupid.
You don't know what the character looks like, but you see the cosplayer, right?
Yeah.
You seeing the cosplayer, your mindset is, this cosplayer is hot, or this cosplayer looks really good in this costume, right? But you don't have the character in your brain, right? Now, but they're real people, so it's different. In the game with the pixels and shit, right? The first time you ever see Zoe on screen, she's black. Right? The first time you ever see her, right? Sorry, hold on.
Yeah.
She looks like this.
Okay.
Like when you hover over her screen, she looks like this. But then you go through all the alt skins because like, oh, what other color she has, and then you see that. Does that not look weird to you? Like, what the fuck is this?
No.
Why is this?
Doesn't look weird.
She looks like Zelda.
I think you have it in complete reverse here. What looks weird, unfortunately, and I'm not trying to say, I'll explain myself a little bit here after I say it. What looks weird is when you see it in cosplay. When you see somebody who's not of the accurate race portraying a character in the real world that's like of a completely different color. That's when it looks a little fucking strange. You have to admit that, right? Like you're trying to portray a character, but you don't really like resemble that same
honestly
tone of the color and whatnot. But even then, it's not like I'm trying to sit here and say it's wrong, but I think everybody can agree that it looks fucking weird. And I'll give you an example. I believe that there's they had this cosplay thing going on for Valorant, and they had all these different people, and it wasn't even in the US. I think it was like in some Asian country or something like that. And they had all these and it had all these different people portraying these different Valorant characters, and obviously Rainbow knows Valorant. Crim kind of knows Valorant a little bit too. Just the characters, just talking about the characters, not the gameplay. And they had all these different people cosplaying these characters, but I don't think that there was anybody cosplaying Phoenix. There was nobody doing Phoenix, right? For
male.
No, they had people cosplaying males, but they didn't have anybody doing Phoenix, and they didn't have anybody doing, which for Crim, Phoenix is black. And they didn't have anybody cosplaying
I know who
the
Phoenix
other black
is,
chick.
Nigga.
Oh, okay, sorry. Just had to make sure. And they didn't have anybody cosplaying that other black girl, that
Raze?
Galaxy. No, not.
Okay. Oh, Astra.
The Galaxy chick. The Galaxy chick. They didn't have anybody doing her. They didn't have anybody doing Phoenix. Right? And think about it. It's not, to me, as a black person, I wouldn't care if they'd done it. I would have looked at it like, shit. Shout out to, like, he's doing it whether he has the cut skin tone or not. Like, shout outs, props, right? You're a fan of the character and you're showing off your skills to, like, portray the character in the real world. Cool. I don't give a fuck. But I think that they're aware that it looks off, so they're not doing it. You know what I mean? It looks weird in the real world. But if you showed me a white Phoenix in the game, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, oh fuck, like, nigga,
But
it's
here's the
pixels, it's a game, it's virtual, who gives a shit? You can do whatever you want for as long as it's not done in like a racist manner. I don't give a fuck. If somebody, for as long as someone's not marching around saying like, we need to change Phoenix into a white man, like, dude, I don't give a fuck. If you want to have your white version of Phoenix, you do you, bro. It doesn't affect me.
Also, you wouldn't find it weird though, especially if the first time you saw that character, he was a black guy.
No, I wouldn't find it weird. I actually enjoy seeing like variations in these in games, like color schemes and shit. It's cool to me. I love that.
I do heavily agree with Terrellion, especially with like the whole cosplaying thing. I am the only one here, maybe Rainbow. I might be wrong, maybe, but I'm like the one who goes into like convention and all that.
I've
yes,
been to an anime convention before.
Yeah, nerdy and all that. But like the thing is, I've seen several. Like I'm talking about several. Like I'm not even exaggeration. Everywhere I go, no one fucking cares. If you're a black character cosplaying a white character, it doesn't look weird to you. If you're a black character dressing as a white character, it doesn't look weird to you. So that's why I'm saying like so when it comes to cosplaying, and I went to Anime Expo this year. And I saw that all over. I went to Anime Expo last year, and I went to Anime Expo the year before. No one says shit. Black people will dress as white characters, and white characters will dress as black character, and no one cares.
There's no keyboard in front of them. So they won't say anything because there's no keyboard in front of them. I mean, you already know, like.
Oh, but that's such a stupid argument. Behind a keyboard, everybody is some sort of tough guy. Everybody is a tough guy.
And everybody's gonna spew a bunch of bullshit and nonsense on the internet because they don't have to show their face or whatever. Like, you said it in a previous video, Rainbow. The fucking Mike Tyson quote. You know?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that just now. Yeah.
So it's like, and what you're now proving to me right now, Rainbow, is that you actually care what people say on the internet.
Yeah, but
I care when they say something stupid.
Like I said.
And that's the stuff that matters most. That's what everybody like hones in on. Is like, okay, this guy says I'm nice. This guy says I'm cool. Oh, this guy says I'm an idiot. Like, you hone in on that one, and that's all you give a shit about. Like, come on, man.
Okay, that's actually not true. That's a whole different topic in and of itself. That's not what we're talking about.
For years, I'm chronically online. Like every social media app except Snapchat, I'm chronically on that shit. I'm always online. And it doesn't bug me. It doesn't faze me. Like it's such a non-issue. But
I don't know how you can be on Snapchat.
Huh?
I don't know how you can be on Snapchat. Like
I have Snapchat, but it's like my least favorite of the social media. But it's literally such a non-issue. White to black, black to white. Who cares?
Who cares? And like Crim was brought up at the very beginning of the video, it should be equal on both ends. So when characters in video games get alternate colors that turn them white when they were originally black, that should be okay. Like, we shouldn't be sitting here like, that's wrong. Like, that just looks off, you know? Because black people got nigga genetics. Black people got nigga genetics, you know? Like, that's mainly what you're trying to fucking say, Rainbow. Get out of here.
I'm not saying you shouldn't. You just say it looks weird.
Mind you, this is coming from a black person himself. He may be a little light-skinned, but, like, he is black, so... Yeah, you already fucking know. But like
yeah, my one black friend said that shit, so that makes me not racist. Shut up. Look,
token black.
In a way, I guess I kind of do understand where it's coming from the black person's end. It's so weird to say. Anyways, but like,
thank you for correcting yourself.
You already know black people.
Go get your cloak from the closet. Go get your.
Black people don't get a lot of representation. Black people, they don't get a lot of recognition, which I understand. Yes, history itself has proven that. But at the same time, yes, even though it's harsh, history has proven that black people are inferior, which I don't believe. I don't believe that.
What are we getting into right now? What the fuck?
No,
History has proven that niggas are inferior.
I'm trying to finish. I'm trying to finish. So yes, history, all that stuff, social media, pop culture, whatever. Black people are seen, or we're not even seen as lesser, but it's just that the way they're represented, they're not as represented as much as a lighter skinned character. But what I'm trying to say is that even though that may be a fact, it is a fact that black people are not represented as much. It doesn't mean that just because a white person is represented doesn't mean that we're showing favoritism. No. And I feel like that's what the problem is. Most people will say, black people aren't represented in pop culture as much. Black people aren't represented in history as much. And yes, it is true. But just because in this day and age we're representing a white person, in no way does that mean we're racist and thinking less of a black person. Does that make sense?
I don't even think it has anything to do with history or anything like that. It's just
No.
gaming. Black people is mostly like a gaming anime type thing where they're not portrayed.
We're
No,
kind of gonna go stepping stones here.
The reason why I bring that up too is because again, I've said this several times. I'm chronically online, but whenever I see these type of controversies, I'll go through the thread and see what people gotta say. And a lot of people will try to counter argue. Well, like the black people, they will tell you the reason why it's a problem is because black people aren't represented as much. And if a white person tries to take over, it's because they're trying to show some sort of superiority. That's not the case. It's not the case at all.
Okay. I'm gonna stop you there before Dr. Umar comes into our comment section. Look, here's what I'm gonna say. Let me change it up a little bit. I think a character that's super dark skinned, right?
Yeah.
If they go completely opposite and like I said with Zoe, but with other characters, it just looks weird to me. Am I saying you can't cosplay as that character? No, that'd be stupid. Am I saying that it shouldn't be there? No, that's stupid. I mean, I wouldn't do it just because I find it weird, but whatever. It just means that if you pick White Chloe, I'm gonna try to beat your ass even harder. I'm gonna lock in even harder. But what I'll say is this though.
You're so serious.
With the Valiant thing that you mentioned, there were people that cosplayed as Reyna and Fade, and they're darker skin tone, but they're kind of like a lighter dark.
Yeah, I think
than,
it
like,
was.
Phoenix
I
is,
think
like,
it was
black.
it was mainly the black characters, darker skin tone black characters that they weren't doing. But the characters that were on the lighter end of it, they still did it.
Yeah, and this isn't even just gaming. And I know this is gonna be a whole different thing. So I'll try to finish it off this. I'm sure this has been a while. Even VTubers, that shit doesn't happen. There's a guy named Kenji. He's black in real life, but if you look at his VTuber model, it's white. It's because no one either didn't know how to do skin tones, didn't want to for a particular reason, which is obvious, or said making dark skin tones is too hard.
But
right. So if you want a black VTuber model, you're gonna have to find someone who's probably black, because that's the only people who's gonna fucking do this shit.
Well, either black or just not racist.
Okay, but here's my counter argument to that. So you're saying a person who's not good at drawing black people in art. Let's say I'm a guy, which I am a guy. I don't even know why I'm saying let's say. But let's say I decide to go into VTubing. I want to make myself a female. Do I need a female to make my character?
No, everyone's gonna make a female. They need their money.
So the reason why I'm saying that, now think about it this way. If I wanted my character to be black, do I need a black person to make my character?
No. Yeah, because it's the only people who are doing it.
No.
No.
I think I think I get what Krim was trying to go with here, but here's what I think
Yeah.
the reason why people don't want to do a black VTuber character, and this is so off topic. I don't even know if we're on this.
Yeah, this is why we're called yapping hours.
We need
This
to
is
end
why
it
we're
after this
called-
because we're already at 24 minutes. But the reason why I believe people don't want to do black characters for VTube tongue twisting myself for VTuber models is because they're afraid of misrepresenting black people. Because you know how
then that's why.
No, that's
I
true.
think,
That's
it's,
true.
I think
No,
it's fear of misrepresentation because they don't want
Yeah.
to make the character, and the person goes like, "Whoa, what the hell? Why did you give me such a big? Why did you give my character such big lips? Or like, why did you give my character like such a weird skin tone? Or you know, like the hand thing. You remember when the hand situation became a problem? Like people were just not understanding how to do black people hands or whatever, which is so fucking stupid in my opinion. But it is what it is. Like they're afraid of doing that and coming out looking bad or racist. They don't want to even like tap into that shit. I think that's probably what it could be too.
Which is that's also the case for sure.
It's a form of uncomfortability, if that's even a fucking word. And then it's just a form of bias as well. Like I don't know, just
Get
the way
comfortable, practice.
Yeah, the way I see it is like black to white to black is such a non-issue. But the thing is, we make it an issue, and at the same time, I'm not hating you guys. I can see why you guys are making it an issue.
Hold on. Hold your words. Dr. Umar, I can feel his presence behind me. Okay, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
So all right. Thank y'all so much for watching. Appreciate you if you stuck around. I know like it's not February yet, so we apologize that the episode's going to come out when it does. But with that said, thank y'all so much for watching on this day. We'll catch y'all later.